Okay, so here's a fanfiction idea that I kind of thought about a few weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, it'd be kind of fun to talk about. And this is a Ladybug Noir AU. I know does have Lady Noir stuff in it, but it's a Ladybug Noir AU in that it's set in the, the Roaring 20s, like gangster films and whatnot. So that was yeah, I've seen like 50s AUs, I've seen, the dance AU, I've seen several, but I don't think I've ever seen one where it's set in a noir setting. And yeah, so let's get down to, maybe there is, I just haven't seen it yet, but yeah, let's talk about this idea I had. So this idea is that in this universe, this is set in 1920s France, and and in here, Marinette is the heiress to a small-time mafia family, the Dupangs, who have recently, her family are mobsters, but they're not like big. It's not a big crime family. It's more like racketeering and that's really it. It's just more of a racketeering group, and they never really do anything majorly serious, but the major thing is that her family does have some big help, in that her mother was the daughter of a very powerful triad in Korea. So yeah, they've got powerful allies across the world. So they've got some major backing from a Korean triad, and also Chinese triad. Why did I say Korean? Sorry, I've had a long day. But anyway, so they've got help from a Chinese triad from across the world due to the marriage. But however, there is someone who's kind of a big problem for the gang, and not just them, but all the underworld of Paris. The Agreste family. The Agreste family is the major powerhouse in the French underworld. And Gabriel Agreste is the head of the Agreste family, he's pretty much like the kingpin of France. He at no point, at any crime goes without his say-so. But however, the Dupang family is kind of getting under his skin. It may be small time, but they don't really adhere to his rules. So if you don't play the game, you end up dead, and that's exactly what happens to Marinette's family. They get completely massacred during Marinette's birthday party, and yeah, Marinette manages to escape, but however, she escapes with the help of Master Fu. Now, in this universe, Master Fu isn't like some magic warrior. He was actually a martial arts master who trained Marinette's mother. So he was there at the birthday party, and those two were the only survivors. They managed to escape, but the Dupang family was kind of just wrecked. Now, you're probably wondering, where is Adrien in all this? Now, Adrien is the heir to the crime family, but he wants it to change. He doesn't, approve of his family's actions, and it's very clear here. It's very clear during this massacre that, this family, his father needs to be stopped. And how he does it, he takes on a persona of Cat Noir, who in here, he plays the role of a cat burglar, who he was inspired by the stories of Arsène Lupin, and he becomes Cat Noir, who is this burglar / vigilante who is stealing the money from his own father's crime family and giving it to the poor or to foundations, or just destroying his places of business. So Cat Noir actually shows up before Ladybug does. Meanwhile, Marinette herself is trained by Master Fu for 3 years. She spends in the Himalayas training with a group of monks. Again, this is very inspired by the comic, the Shadow comics, and a lot of like the Green Hornet and whatnot. So she's trained in a monastery in these deadly arts for 3 years before coming back and taking on this guise of a masked vigilante carrying guns. Again, very Shadow inspired. However, it's not she doesn't call herself Ladybug. It's just that the patterns on the scarf she wears around her neck due to in her costume. And I wish I could explain further with the costumes, because they're more noir inspired. If anything, I kind of had it in my head that Marinette's costume's actually very close to another pulp hero called Miss Fury, that whole costume. While Adrian's is very much like a male version of Catwoman's costume. So, yeah. But yeah, Marinette is more or less causing hell for the Dupang... man, I am so out of it today. For the Agreste family by destroying places of business, taking out major informants and members of the family, and yeah, it isn't... She doesn't call herself Ladybug, it's the press. Written by one Alia Cisner, who has really been following all these, like, urban legends of masked vigilantes. Starting with Cat Noir. It's actually her who gives her the name Ladybug. So yeah, that's kind of the, that's kind of the thing, is that it's Alia who calls them Ladybug and Cat Noir. And in here, Ladybug and Cat Noir actually cross paths, and they actually try to kill each other in the first meeting, and it isn't until Gabriel orders the building they're fighting in to be burned down with them trapped inside that they have to escape together, and that's where the romance begins. Meanwhile, Marinette herself has made a comeback and is trying to restart her family, her own criminal business. Yeah, they're not good people in this story. They're not exactly the best people in here. So, Marinette is trying to restart her family, and she gets people like Kim and Alex, Julika. A lot of people she gets are people who are like low down and downtrodden, and people who were taken advantage of by the Agreste family. Chloe herself is the heiress to, of course, the bourgeois estate, and again, her father is the mayor of France, but he's very corrupt and works very close with the Agreste family. So there's all that. I'd go more into detail, but I feel like isn't a lot much else I can say. Alia in here is a big shot, like I said, a big shot reporter who's following the exploits of Ladybug and Cat Noir and posting them in the newspaper. You've got Nino, who is the head of a club, and he's the head of a club called the Bubbler. Yeah, no one gets akumatized. There's no real magic, just a lot of fun. He's also with Nino. He's a close friend of Adrian, and the club is usually visited by members of the gang that Gabriel's heads. So there you go. There is a brief little tidbit into this little noir idea. Maybe I'll come back to it when I have a little more to it. But that was just I just kind of wanted to talk about like the general idea I had for this. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of this Ladybug AU, this Ladybug Noir AU story? Just comment below, let me know, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.